Peace, welcome to my 10-month and 8-day check-in with no nicotine. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing how one becomes addicted or into a cycle with the addiction of, in this case scenario, nicotine. So starting off with mentally, how does one become mentally addicted to nicotine and mentally attached to nicotine? Well, this happens through mentally feeling that sense of comfortability or the sense of well-being that the nicotine supplied to your body may affect the mental state, allowing it to relax, allowing it to take on a less stressed sense of state of being, as well as the repetitive thoughts of when your next hit is the repetitive thoughts of not using something in moderation and then getting out of that what you're putting in. Like, everything can be good in moderation, but as beings, we sometimes lose the track of realizing that the consequences are much more, when the consequences are more outweighed by the consequences, where the benefits have no weight versus the consequences, then a lot of times we surpass this just to tell ourselves that we're going to be okay, to tell ourselves that this use is good for me to continue on. And we tell ourselves these delusional thoughts like we're never going to have to deal with that, but that's not true. So mentally, we get fixated and we get into the rhythm of, that's the only thing I want to experience. If I experience anything else, then no, I'm not going to have good thoughts. I'm not going to be able to exist in my mind and be able to even act in a mentally stable sort of fashion. And this is really interesting because when I quit nicotine, I realized that a lot of times moderation and also switching up your habits, even though you're so fixated on it, can be hard, but mentally what it allows you to do is to help you be more mentally present and mentally fulfilled from time to time, which is a good thing. Physically, how do you become dependent on nicotine? Well, it's because you are ingesting it into your body, so that's how you physically get addicted to it, and you continuously want more and more of it because your body becomes used to having it in its system. And so now it doesn't, the way it is, the chemistry of the body is starting to go more towards in favor of having nicotine in the system, and having an external source of mass surplus of nicotine at hand is ideally what a nicotine user is going to relate to, and eventually want for their body is to continuously use the nicotine. And that's how the physical addiction is manifested, because once you try it, you are exposed to this world of getting the physical feeling of it, and then also all the other things that come along with nicotine use in sense of the physical state of being are you continuously having it with you, you using for an extended amount of time, ingesting that into your physical vessel for an extended amount of time, and it's up to each individual. I wouldn't encourage anyone to do anything else other than to do what's right for the self. So it's up to each individual is my perspective on it. But yeah, physically you get addicted by kind of searching out for something to fulfill you, and when you realize that you don't have to search for fulfillment much far outside of yourself and outside of others that you love and others that you have good relations with, then you realize that there's much more out there to be fulfilled in physically other than just some physical device that just so happens to be something that you've gotten into a cycle of that you can't break out of, and you just tell yourself in all these sorts of states of beings that it's alright. But you have to discover if it truly is right for you, and if it isn't, then don't do something that's going against your other states of being just to please the physical state of being. That's what I've learned from going without, and that's just what I want to tell you guys is the truth about it. Physically, if you use the substances in a way where it's not in moderation and it becomes a everyday, every moment thing, then that's how you're going to become dependent on the substance. And sometimes it's unavoidable. I've said before, sometimes someone has to hit rock bottom to realize that this isn't right for them, and that causes them to switch up their physical actions. And spiritually, how is one and how is it being subjected and I guess you could say converted into and really under, because you're falling under this action in the physical realm that it truly is taking from you spiritually, because it's an action that could possibly be holding you behind and also hindering your soul's ability to experience and grow, because you're possibly damaging the vessel, possibly leading to not being able to experience as long as possible. And that's how you could be hindering your spirituality. And also, one becomes addicted to nicotine in this case, or any substance, primarily because you're giving off an offering when you are burning something, when you're smoking a chemical, when you're smoking a substance. That is more than just what you see in the physical attached to that molecule. There's a spiritual meaning to it, and you'll have to always pay attention to be aware of what kind of spiritual space does this substance derive from. How will this affect my spiritual presence and spiritual state of being when I continue use of this? If it's desired to do so, then you have to know and be aware of what you may fall under giving up your power in that sort of fashion. Of course, you are the all-powerful one, so you'll have the ability to take the power back, but it's all about once you go too far to the point of no return, there's no sense in implementing moderation, and there's no sense of going on a spiritual journey to discover more about yourself other than staying docile and staying, just where you are in non-growing activities. And that's my perspective on how one becomes spiritually addicted and spiritually into the rhythm of using nicotine, as well as having a sense of when you do ingest the nicotine, it may give you a sense of purpose, because whenever you do the nicotine, you get this physical feeling of well-being, which if you're not careful and you don't know enough, you may mistake this for possibly, you're in the right path spiritually. This is spiritual confirmation because of how you feel right now. When you have to actually look deeper than that and understand that there's more than just what meets the eye, and stuff that needs to be discovered or be experienced in the spiritual state of being. Emotionally, how is one, become addicted to nicotine? It's by searching for something, feeling as if you are looking for something. You can never be lost unless you lose yourself, and that's true. I've spoken on my channel before about you are always in your power as long as you're being you, because that is your greatest power, and that is the truth. But once emotionally you feel as if you're looking for something outside of yourself, there's times when you are going to actually compensate your physical, possibly spiritual, and mental states of being just to suit your emotional state of being. And that's not good, because what if something is not right for you? It's not right for your spiritual path. It's not right for your mental health. It's not right for your vessel's health and well-being. Yet emotionally you have the feeling to continue on this action and continue on doing this. Well, there you go. That is the issue right there. You were searching for something outside of yourself to fulfill yourself, other than the things that you could trust, the things that you know are not going to hinder you. For example, like I just said, things that you trust, things that you are for certain are protecting and are protected. That's how one becomes emotionally dependent on a substance, and the more that you go without that substance, the more emotional independence you get, and you're able to then see, okay, if I go into another experience like this, I'm going to be aware, I'm going to have that emotional awareness that if I feel that way again, boom, I know where this is going to lead to. I can either switch up my actions based off of how I feel, or the feeling can confirm my actions. Either way, you'll have more clairvoyance and you'll be able to tell what is truly going on. And that's just a brief video of, how physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally one becomes addicted to nicotine. And it's not to say, hey, this is a video like in my title, I'll probably put something along the lines. It's not to say, oh, click on this video to find out how to get addicted to nicotine. No, this is for awareness and for spreading the word that this is the ways that it happens. So if you want to either try to avoid this, or you want to just be aware of this, or this will help you inform you and or motivate you in your process of substance, in your process of addiction, anything that can help, I truly am saying. And thank you for all the support. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, comment if you can. Anything works. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching my video. That's it for the 10-month and 8-day check-in. Peace.